Good afternoon, and welcome to a Monday edition of Danny Vaughn's Virtual Happy Hour. It's the show that began in uh, just over a year ago. We all went locked down. It's kind of kept going, a little engine that could, and this week it's a bit wheels off. But oh well, let's roll the open. How about it? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Time we check and make sure we have the audio going. We're rocking and rolling, I believe. It says beer test. We're not actually doing a beer test today. There we go. We are on. Yeah, it says beer test, but we're not doing a beer test. I forgot to change it. Goofy me, right? Glad you're along. Happy Monday, everybody. Nose is itching. I don't know, something in the air here in the metro, but glad you're along here in the office in Kansas City at Legends Field for a Monday. Pretty eventful few days. We talked on Friday, had the beer test on Friday. First off, hope y'all are doing well. Miss y'all. Looking forward to seeing some of y'all. I just saw Steve Yates go by there. Saw Steve over the weekend. Saw him last week too, and always good to see his face. And good dude here in the KC area. But let me see if I can do this, and if I refresh it, if it will. Let's try to get the little. Happy Monday, Jonathan. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Yeah, I don't know why it says beer. I swear it's not a beer test. I thought let me double check and make sure I refreshed it there because it does say Monday chat. Yeah, it does say Monday chat time. Anyway, all good. Jonathan, hope you're doing well too, my friend. I got to bring the audio down real quickly here, and we will get back to the business at hand. And it's one of those Mondays where it didn't really start out like I thought it was going to, and it turned out better than I thought it was going to, and really totally took a really crazy turn here. I say crazy turn, that's probably the wrong word for it. Anyway, a little late. Let's see here. I'm going to draw there. It began this morning. I got my workout in, which is good. Monday's the hardest for me because I didn't really take the weekend off. But Saturday I did a lot of walking, more than about what I would normally do in a normal 70-minute workout on a course of a day. 70 minutes of walking, or 60 minutes of walking, and another, all the things you do in a normal day. Because Saturday was a lot of walking. I mean, we're talking about all around the Union Station in Kansas City, Kaufman. We were at the the parking lot to the seats, the back again, and all around there, but not really officially counted as a workout. And then yesterday, it was the kind of the splurge day, on Mother's Day, with the wife here in town. And we had a late lunch and some cocktails, and then some cocktails before she went to the airport. Then I had a later dinner, and probably went over my allotted budget, but it was my splurge day. So I was a little dragging this morning, but I got going, and it got the last couple Mondays, I've only done about a 40-minute workout. Today I got a 54 minutes. I was like 6 minutes shy of a normal hour. It's pretty good. That's actually, if I average that every day, I'm doing pretty good. Good to see Michael, and Mom as well out there. And then, but I was running a little late. I didn't realize. I just got behind on my own. Actually, Mom's going to join me in just a moment. We'll bring her on in just a moment. But we have our 9 o'clock meetings over in Leawood, which is about 35 minutes from where I'm at in Bonner Springs. And it's not like Dallas traffic or Houston or LA where it's bumper to bumper and you'd be there 2 hours later. But I basically walked in as the meeting started, and which I like to be there early and be ready to go. But I only went out to Leawood because of the meeting. I really could have done it I could have done the meeting from here at the ballpark, but I wanted to be there in person, see everybody's faces, and I just felt it was important to be there. But I was running, just for whatever reason, I got behind this morning. I was like hauling ass down 435 and breaking some traffic laws, I'm sure, and arrived just in time of the meeting. And the good news is I was able to pick up some fresh groceries on the way back. But the crazy thing about the whole deal was, and this is what I was getting at, was ordered some new gear. I had 2 pieces of gear to pick up. And yesterday, I picked up one of the pieces of gear when the wife and I went over there and picked it up yesterday afternoon. It was ready Friday. And the other was not in yet. And I thought, I'll just pick it up sometime next week. Well, wouldn't you know it, I actually got back on the freeway, was headed back to the ballpark, and I got about halfway here, and I saw the text thing, and I saw it go through the system on the car. I was like, you know what? Let's turn around and go back and get it. So I turned around and went back and got it. But I picked up my gear. I was all excited, and then so that actually kind of it was not what I was planning on today. But I'm actually got all the things I needed done that I was hoping to get done later in the week. I got it done today. So getting the gear yesterday, and the one more big piece came today. So both pieces came. So now I've got both the pieces I wanted, which is good. So I got those sorted and all ready to go, and which is good. So I mean, I know it's a random thing, but your guys are probably going, "Gosh, kind of a roundabout way, Dan, to get where you're trying to go." But yeah, it was kind of cool to get that done. And anyway, what was I looking for here? Sorry about that. So anyway, yeah, that's the good news. Able to get that knocked out. And again, I thought, if I don't go do it now, I'll get it done sometime. But inevitably, something else will pile onto it later on this week. And as it turns out, I could have probably grabbed it tomorrow, as I got to run to Leawood anyway before I go over to 18th and Vine. But all good. So anyway, speaking of all good, I talked to her yesterday. Hope you had a great Mother's Day. But my mom is joining us now. It was her Mother's Day yesterday.
Oh.
Hello.
I look like death warmed over.
So do I.
Well, I was trying to get packed.
That's right, because you leave
Tomorrow.
Wednesday. Tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. You leave on Tuesday.
Yeah, 3:27 from South Bend. So.
Into Dallas Fort Worth Airport, which is the nonstop on American Eagle, which is a great flight.
Oh, and boy, do you know what I did? I'm really a stinker.
Why?
I got it when I signed on to board, to get my boarding pass. It asked if I wanted to upgrade to first class.
Sure.
Of course, but of course on those flights, the first class is minimal, and everybody, it's not. But I got to thinking, okay, I get free baggage.
And you get to be aboard first.
Yeah, I get free baggage, which that would be $60, and it was $93.
And you get free wine.
Well, they don't always have service
on
that.
They do, because I've flown it. I've flown that service 4 times. I can tell you this year. I flew it during the peak. I flew it in October.
That's right, you did.
And I flew it in March. In early March, and both times during drinking hours, both times I had adult beverages.
Yeah.
So
well, it's drinking hour, isn't it?
Yeah. So on the way up, but they didn't. Granted, in coach they did not offer that. Now, granted, starting, I thought it was last weekend, but I think it may be next. But I know because I always fly the front of the first class anyway. But they have started Southwest brought their service back April, and I believe American brought theirs back this last weekend, limited service. But in first in business, both it's been full bore. I mean, it's been every time I've flown, except only time it didn't happen, Mom, was we went to Padre. That flight was later in the evening, like 10 o'clock, and they didn't offer going to Padre. But coming back from Padre, we could have asked going down to Padre, but coming back from Padre, no worries, no dramas. And then, of course, my flight back and forth. I've been flying to Kansas City and Dallas every week, and have had no dramas at all. Then the South Bend flight. So yeah, you should be sorted. You also be first aboard. So that's good for you, Mom. That's good. That's a good deal.
Yeah. Well, I bought my ticket in April, and it was not real expensive. Expensive enough, $289 or something like that, round trip. And so when I went into and I thought, I'm not going to pay that extra to be first, because I've never flown. You're going to love this. I've never flown first class.
Huh.
So anyway, because you know me, I'm like my dad. Save that extra penny. But then when I realized I could take two smaller suitcases rather than one friggin' large one, because it says two suitcases checked free,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's $60
You're
right
sorted.
there.
You're sorted. Yeah. You're all set. Yeah.
So I'm living the high life. Plus,
The only I'm telling you, I know this, and only because I'm an airline snob, as you know, but only because I've flown so much. If I only flew just once in a while, I wouldn't have the perks. But I'm telling you, the points and the miles and the status of flying makes it so much better. And my wife can tell you this because she flew yesterday, and her flight back from Kansas City, she flew up and she was what they call it. Well, she was the main cabin extra, was the first row of main cabin, but she was boarding group 5 and she had to fight for a place to put her stuff. She's been spoiled. That's why I upgraded her yesterday for Mother's Day, but I'll upgrade her as often as I can, because domestic airlines in America are terrible. I mean, all the American, Delta, United, they're all about the same. Southwest is more of a low fare, no frills. But if you fly overseas, the airline service is so much better. And to make the travels experience so much more bearable, if you can fly business or first, you try to, because it's just, if you can do it. And now everybody can do it.
Well,
but
and
if you can do it.
When I went in today to see how much it actually cost, just for curiosity, to fly round trip, it's over $1,000 on first class. So I was like, hey, I've made out like a bandit. So
and the key is, what you got to do is you got to find it where move this around here, screen there. You got to find it though where on a flight like that where it's not. That's why I knew that GM's flight back. Now sometimes especially a flight from say Vegas to Dallas or LA to Dallas, those are New York to Dallas. Those are hard to get upgrades on. But a lot of times the routes like Kansas City or to South Bend or wherever, Memphis or something, you can get a pretty good deal. Denver, just depends on where you're going. Depends where you're going. So that made our trip to Belize. Our trip to Belize was so much more enjoyable because we were able to get on and off first, and we were, that was, and also got in the front of the line to get into the country and all that. So that's all good.
Cool. Well, and by the way, speaking of flights, and I remember, I don't know how much longer we have, another year maybe, to use that Portugal airline.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe she isn't going to. I kind of want to take the wife to Europe for like a long stretch. I don't know when we'll do that, but maybe after the season's over.
I think it's I don't remember how. It's not it was just half of the trip, so it's not
right, but it's a little something. So but if it's,
I came across it when I was making sure I got all my stuff together.
Well, I could probably, if I went to Australia going the other direction, I could go through Europe and go the kangaroo route, the old school route. If I wanted to, I could do that. It's not a problem.
I'll get on the other side. I'll get on the other side.
All right, Mom. We'll see you. Love you.
Sorry, I look so tragic, but anyway, I've been busy.
All good.
I had to go downtown and sign checks for the Council on Aging, and you're going to love this. We're going to sponsor a senior queen at, the Elkhart County Fair is going to happen this year. Can you guess? Yeah, so the Council on Aging is going to sponsor a senior queen. It only costs $35, and it gets recognition, in the county. Well, three of the people said, we want you to be the candidate for the senior queen. Now, can you imagine that?
Way to go, Mom.
Well, I haven't said yes because it involves a whole lot of meetings.
You wave like this?
Yeah. Well, if you win, see, there's more than one. But you have a tiara, and you have, all that crap, and you have a use of a golf cart to run around the fairgrounds and meet people. So, but I don't think I'm going to do it. It takes up too much time in the summer. There are a lot of meetings and things, and then they have the contests, and I don't know. Only 3 people out of the board have asked, so the rest are probably going, oh no, not her. So anyway,
there you go. It's gonna be fun, Mom.
I just thought that would be a fun thing for you to know about today.
It's a fun fact right there, Mom. It's a fun fact.
Here's the easy part. You have to be 60 at least. I think I fit that qualification.
Yeah, you got that beat by a couple of years. Not many, but a couple.
Oh, maybe 20.
Right.
All
All
righty.
good.
Love you.
Love you, Mom. Be good. There we go. There goes Mom right there is the senior queen candidate right there. There we go. Good to see Mom there. And anyway, there we go. There, I'm back. I'm back. Let's bring that down. And there we go. Bring this down. And I meant to tell Mom, I don't know about Wednesday. I may do a short show Wednesday from the broadcast booth because actually it will be the first time I've called a game here in this stadium since 2019. Michael, you're right. And this is what we're talking about earlier. Speaking as a, yeah, there's only, I don't know why it's like this, but in general, and I've flown coach international on Qantas in New Zealand, Fiji, Singapore. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Those are all international. I've flown international coach on those. And in general, the experience, not in general, across the board, the coach experience in those airlines makes the domestic carriers in the United States look like clowns. I mean, terrible. And I just read a thing today too. Upgrade if and when you can. And that's the thing, Michael. I am so blessed because I travel so much. I've accumulated, American Airlines has got these 500-mile upgrades, and I've got 58 of them now. And the thing is, though, I get so many, every time I fly, I think it's 10,000 miles, I get another pair of them. But now that I've hit the status where I'm at, I get complimentary upgrades anyway. If I buy coach, like right now, if I bought a coach ticket from KC to Dallas, if I bought a first class ticket, I'd be automatically up, on the top of the upgrade list. And if I bought a first class ticket, obviously, I most of the time buy the first class from here to Dallas, and then I usually go complimentary upgrade and longer hauls. It just depends on where I'm going, but yeah, if you can upgrade, if and when you can, I agree. The experience is so much more. The leg room and the service is just different. It's. And I read a story this morning. There's one of the blogs I follow, the points guy blogs. And he had a really bad, and this guy writes, he's an executive platinum with One World, or American One World. He had a really, really bad experience, I think he was going San Diego to Dallas, I think. He had a really bad experience with his wife and his kid. And you got to be careful. The customer service agent was the wrong person to be negative to. Although on the flight, the gate agent was really bad, but the flight attendant was great. And so she got a real good shout out on his blog. And this guy gets, I don't know, 100,000 readers, but, but there's some trying. Southwest does really over the top customer service. I love their customer service because they'd only have but one class of service. They do a really good job. I've seen a much better effort by the American carriers, and I use American. So I use American Airlines 99% of the time, or 90% of the time I fly American. The other 10% would be Southwest or Alaska, which is now a partner. My airlines are going to be One World, which is going to be American Airlines, Qantas, One World, occasional Virgin Australia, an occasional Air New Zealand, but mostly Qantas and American in Alaska. But I've seen a much better concerted effort by American, although I've seen a lot of negative. By and large, my service experience with American, that includes on the phones, at the gates, have been phenomenal. I mean, I think their service is much better, although I keep reading how bad it is. But I've had great experience. Back in December, I did a mileage run from Dallas to LAX to Phoenix, Phoenix to Dallas for a day, and I got a thank you note from the flight crew on the way on the Phoenix to Dallas leg. I've never gotten one of those. I also read where this gentleman who had that blog post, he got a thank you note from the flight crew as well on the flight from San Diego to Dallas. So I'm seeing more of that. I think the service has been great. There was a really funny guy on the flight from Kansas City to Dallas last Friday week ago. Hilarious flight attendant. He was awesome, hilarious. I follow a blogger, and she actually does a YouTube channel that's a flight attendant. She does a great job of keeping folks informed. It's a tough gig, for sure, but I think it's getting better. But by and large, across the board, the random Qantas flight from Sydney to Dallas blows away the random Dallas or the Sydney to LA flight on American. The customer service does, and just by and large. Now, if you're in premium economy on the international, it's much better. If you're in coach, but still, I think Air New Zealand's great too, by the way. I mean, just kind of rambling here, but Air New Zealand, their customer service on their coach is phenomenal. I mean, really, really good. And those international flights, you're on the airplane for 12, 13, 14, 15 hours across the Pacific. They're making sure you're taken care of, and I think that's great. Good to see David. Yeah, David, how you doing, bud? Got a little beer today, are you? Good to see you. Let's see here. Yeah, you take advantage. Post 9/11, it changed everything. I was a Delta guy. You remember, Michael, when Delta flew there to Lubbock on the jets? They used to fly the jets from the old. Remember DFW had the hub or Delta had a hub at DFW. Now it's a focus city, but at one time you had Atlanta, Hartsfield, where they're based out of, Salt Lake. DFW was their middle of the country hub, Cincinnati. Now they merged in Northwest. They've got Detroit and Minneapolis now. The DFW hub is no longer. It's a focus city, and they've changed around a bit. Cincinnati, it's not the bit. I used to fly Delta because I lived in Jacksonville, and go Jacksonville to Lubbock. I would go Jacksonville, Dallas, Lubbock. It was that was where I used to go and make the one hop stop. And it was all jet service, all domestic first back in the day. Post 9/11, of course, they closed that hub 90, about late 90s, maybe 2000-ish. They kind of brought it down. And then after 9/11, I think they may have closed it down around there. But you're right. 9/11 changed a lot of the airline focus. It really did. Qantas highly rated. So is Qatar. Qantas. I tell you, another one, Singapore. Their coach experience is phenomenal as well. Air New Zealand, Qantas. Virgin Australia is not terrible domestically in Australia. I've flown a lot. I fly a lot of. The thing about Australia is because the most of the wide bodies, like for example from Perth to Sydney, it's a wide body, and so you usually can work out and buy an extra. What you can do is, rather than buy a business class seat, you buy the coach, and you buy the seat next to you for like $100, and it actually gives you some room. But they're mostly wide bodies anyway. I will almost, not always. The Brisbane Perth is a narrow body. It's a 737 across the country, but by and large, the Melbourne flights we take with the ball club, the red eye on Virgin is a wide body, and the service is usually very, very good. They also have full meal service. It's kind of box lunch, but it's full meal, full drinks, full meal. Everything's complimentary. There's no charge for any of that. Beer, wine, all free. It's the same thing on Qantas as well in coach, but you gotta make sure you know how to look for the wide bodies. If not, you're going to be winding up in a narrow body flying from Brisbane to Perth. But I usually know try to fly the wide. Now, a couple of times, there's several times if you're flying business, you'll fly the narrow body. But by and large, I almost always fly coach across the country, across Australia, because you don't really need to fly the business unless you're going to the Tasman Sea, which is going to fly you to New Zealand. I'll fly business then. But anyway, yeah, most of my flights domestically in Australia are, and the thing is, once in a while I'll buy they're really expensive business class seats across Australia. You don't need to. You get plenty of room in a wide body and all that. So anyway, let's see here. Yeah, hub and spoke system now. Yeah, no doubt about it. So all good. That's the thing, and that's it's now focus cities where Southwest does a little different. Southwest does it, point to point, although they still have their hub at Love Field. They have a hub in Vegas, Phoenix, Midway, Baltimore, but they also have, like here in Kansas City, they've got they have a mini hub and spoke here, but of course the big hub is the mega hubs, the Atlantas, the Dallases, the Chicagos, O'Hare anyway. But yeah, so how's everybody doing today? All good, I hope. Let's see here. Anyway, I had a great weekend, Mother's Day weekend. I'm going to show you guys what we did this weekend. I think I have this on line. Hold on, let me pull this up for you guys and share this. I was involved in a really cool thing that of all the teams I've been involved with, we've never done something big league like this. And of course, in the big leagues, if you, if you're a Rangers fan, you go to Fan Fest. There's always a Fan Fest. Usually it's in January, February. They'll do right before spring training. They'll do like a caravan, a Rangers caravan. The Astros do it. Chicago does a real big one every January where they've been doing it during spring training. They'll have former Cubs, former White Sox come out. They'll do a Fan Fest, sign autographs. Fergie Jenkins or whatever will do that. Same kind of deal. But here we did something here that I'd never been a part of, and I think it was really cool. And Morgan Kalinda, who does our she's phenomenal. She does our marketing and media, not media, our promotions and marketing and social media. Really great stuff. And we did a Fan Fest, and Susie, who handles our special events, they put together Kansas City, like just about every city in the country at one time had a really old school train station, right? Train yard. And going back, we're talking about air travel, going back to the days of train travel. Think of Chicago's Union Station, Grand Central or Penn in New York. Kansas City has a historic Union Station. And of course, Kansas City is well known for being the middle of the country train line going east to west. And then, there'll be supplies from the east, supplies from the west, cattle drives, the old cattle drive from Texas, take it to the stockyards here or Wichita and get the train line, which would take you east and west and take the beef to wherever it would go. It's one of those things, the crops, whatever. Goes back to the turn of the previous century, the 1800s, 1900s, and this is a vintage train station. It's really cool. It looks like and feels like a movie set. I felt like I should be watching them film a movie, a movie of some sort. They've done TV shows, TV commercials here in this station, and the Amtrak does run through there. Also, the Burlington Northern Santa Fe runs right through there. There's a big train yard west of the station, and also going out toward the west of the city into Kansas City, Kansas. But let's see here. The seat configuration. Yeah, exactly. I know the tricks of the trade. But yeah, there is a trick of the trade for you folks that don't travel very often. You can actually look. It'll tell you on your booking statement, or when you're looking for your seat assignment, it'll tell you what the flight. When you pick your seat out, A, that'll tell you the configuration. B, if you know, like I do, that you'll see the abbreviations as well. There's also some other websites you can go to and just see what's available. But yeah, configuration will tell you the body. It's an easy cheat. You're right. Easy cheat. A lot of people go, how do you know, Dan? Well, it's an easy cheat. Easy cheat. Yeah, and Southwest flies the same thing. All 737s, 800, 900s, and they have some 700s. The MAX, they've got them sort of in and out right now. They've been grounded. Well, I think they're back. Americans flying them. Delta, United are flying them. They have a MAX sitting out at KCI here right now that they're not using. But the MAX, of course, they had some issues with it. But you'll see at least 737, 800, 900, or 700, 800, 900, or the MAX. And the MAX definitely, and I can tell you by looking at the plane, the MAX looks slightly different. Not much. It's slightly longer. Has a different tail than the 737, 900, and 800 does. And so you're right, but singular, and it makes it easy for Southwest because they're all point to point. Their hubs are hubs, and they're also mini hubs and point to point because they use the same plane every time. And it's very, very easy, and it saves them tons of money. Where American, Delta, United all have different planes of different types. Americans flying mostly a half Boeing, half Airbus contingent, but you've got pilots trained on Airbus, fly Airbus. Pilots trained on Boeings, fly Boeings. Now, not they can do some interchanging, but they have to have some different training. In general, if you fly an Airbus A320, you can fly an A330 and an A319 in general, a A380 in general. There's some cross training, but not a lot. But the way the cockpits are designed, the Airbus cockpit is designed a little differently. And then the controls are in a different place. It's also they're both wire to wire. I mean, you can basically fly by a computer, but Airbus more so. Their cockpit, if you've seen an American, or sorry, a Boeing has the console and they have the throttle. They also have the controls are all right there, and they mimic each other, where the Airbus can be flipped over to one side or the other, and they kind of fly more of a different console on the side. The principles are the same. How you fly is the same, but how the controls are operated are a little different. But yeah, you're right, Mike, because Michael, because if you're flying, the original yes, is Transcom wagons and trains. Yes, exactly. And that's where the Union Stations. I got off track there a little bit. Sorry about that, but I get all nerdied out with airplanes because, American flies this 777, 200, and 300 internationally, and also the 787, and they have a small contingent of Airbus out of Philadelphia, where there be there are more A320s, and there's also a new A350. And there's also a new A220 that's being flown by Delta. Anyway, I get all nerded out here. Of course, used to have Delta had the Airbus, Boeing, and McDonnell Douglas, which became the Boeing family as well when they purchased them back in the 90s. But anyway, that time and place. Original Transcont place right here in Kansas City. I'm going to show you guys. But anyway, downtown, back to what I was talking about. By the way, sorry I rambled on there and got off track. But what I was originally talking about was the Union Station on Sunday, or Saturday rather. Hold this up for you guys here. There we go. But yeah, my great grandfather used to drive cattle from Texas to Kansas City, and they would ship them east and west and north and south. Yeah, you're a Navy. Your son's a Navy. Does he fly? What does he fly in the Navy? I should know this. I should know this. One of my biggest regrets is it's not a regret because my life turned out great for me, but I really wanted to fly planes. But back in the day, you couldn't go to the Air Force Academy without perfect, 20/20 vision. I've always worn glasses, and that was one. Now they've changed that since then. But I love to have flown planes. My father-in-law is flown back in the day. He doesn't fly anymore, but he used to fly some. And I've never taken lessons. I had a flight simulator on my computer at one time and kind of just played around with it. I know the basics of it, but I love airplanes. I love how they do them. I love the liveries of them. I love the design, the makeup. I love to see the different cabins. I know the difference between, Michael, like this. The American Airlines first class domestic seat is actually a premium economy international seat. Premium economy seats international are basically what domestic first are here in the States. International business is usually a pod with reclines and all that, and first is usually a little capsule, but most of them are international business are laid down. Now, if you're flying a Caribbean or Mexico or somewhere like that, it's a narrow body, and that's going to be a domestic first class business seat. I know all these nerdy things. Isn't that crazy? Your son flies the. Let's see. Oh, your son. Yeah, your son. Your dad. Yeah. What am I saying? Your dad for the A7. Oh yeah. It's called the A7. What was that? The Avenger? Is that right? I think that's right. Commander. Yeah, that's so cool. God, that's so cool. That is so cool. I mean, that is really a cool Corsair. Yeah, Corsair. That's right, Corsair. Yeah, because the original Corsair was the one that flew off the carrier tops in World War II. Those are the ones that Boynton's crew, the Black Sheep Squadron, and they fought. Those are the ones that were flying off the carrier decks, flying against the Japanese Zero. And then, yeah, the Corsair. Yeah, the Corsair. Yes, that's it, Corsair. And those are the cool. I remember those had those the cool fronts and the cool like mouths on them. Yeah, those are cool. Yeah, I remember those, man. Those are really cool. Anyway, okay, back to this weekend. Great event we had. We brought the team. We had the team come down. First off, we had the crowd lined up outside the Union Station for 11 o'clock. I'm sorry, noon start. The wife was in town for this, and a little side story on that in a moment if she joins us. But lined up at our on-field entertainment crew there, and got the crowd going and riled up. They had the first 500 got a pennant signed by members of the team. I had merch out there and all that. And then we did, the team got there, I believe, at 2. And I introduced, it was really cool, Frank White, who's a Royals legend. He's also our first base coach, but great Royal and just a great gentleman, great member of the baseball community, great member of our community here. And he's a legend in Kansas City. Frank introduced, or spoke and said a few words. And then our manager, Joe Capietra, spoke. I introduced the players. Just a really cool event. And they tipped their cap. And then we all went inside the station and shot a picture inside Union Station, which is just a neat place. Outside the station, they have the trolley car, which is, the train line. They have a new mass transit system, small. It's a line it goes north and south down Main Street, and it turns around in the Market District on the other side of Interstate 70, and then it runs through downtown Kansas City and runs right to the station. Eventually, it's going to expand, but it's in its infancy. And also, they have a Monarchs bus. So the train, they have a Kansas City Monarchs bus and a Kansas City Monarchs train, and it's the Negro Leagues Museum partnership with the train and the bus. It's really cool, which is our partnership as well. So we have our own train, our own bus with a partnership with the museum, which is really cool. So they took pictures there. Then, if you've ever been to Kansas City, you must go to the World War I Museum. Of course, the Negro League Baseball Museum is a must. Also, the Jazz Museum is a must. And the World War I Monument Museum is a must. There's a tall spire. If you've ever seen a picture of the Kansas City skyline, you may have seen this kind of a limestone monument, and it's overlooking between the Crown Center area and down into the Union Station, the Crossroads area, and back toward the Kansas City skyline. Well, the World War I monument's there. Really cool deal. And they got a picture taken there as well. They had 3 photo ops. Really cool. So I'm going to show you guys what that looked like. Yeah, the squadrons had Baba Black Sheep Originals. Yes, that is. They were. Pappy Boyington was his name, right? Boyington. They flew against the Japanese on the island hops and supported the troops making the island hops. Of course, the Japanese were dug in on those Pacific Islands, and I really want to do the trip to both Guadalcanal and I've not been to Papua New Guinea, but I want to go, and I want to go to Guadalcanal and to the Solomons. It's a lot of really cool things to see there. Yeah, planes, trains, and baseball, planes, trains, automobiles. Yeah, no doubt. Let me show you this. This is really cool. Let me get this to you guys here. Let me share the screen. All right. This is just a little sampling of what was going on down there at Union Station in KCMO. Let me share the screen for you. Sorry about that, guys. I haven't done this in a while. There we go. There we go. There we go. This should pull it up, I think. Yeah, it will. This is our owner, Mark Brandmeier, and his daughter. They're being interviewed on the screen there. And let me pull this so you get a better view of it. There we go. That's him and his daughter there. And that's, if you can see the little ears, that's the ears of Monarch. It's a German Shepherd puppy. She is about, she's probably 12 weeks old now, but she's a little bitty thing, and she's a cutie. Let's see here. Let's go back here. Let's go this way. Oh, wrong way. That's a slice of pizza from a little bit later. There's the folks lined up, and you can see them off in the distance there. They're lined up to get in. And let me get that for you there. You're lined up to get in. I think that's on here. I hope it is. There we go. Our folks lined up. Yep, same picture there. There's a wife and I outside Union Station there. We're wearing our Monarchs gear, looking good. Beautiful woman there. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to show you. That's me at the ballpark. Okay, well, give me a second here. I'm going to find these for you. So that's part of what I was going to show you. What I was going to show you, let's see. Oh, I know I can pull it up. It's right here. Sorry about that. Give me just a moment here to pull this up. This is actually from the team. This is the team's shot. Oops. Hold on. Okay, yeah, this is some of the fun from the weekend. Here we go. You guys can see this. Let me pull this up on the screen for you. Promise. Let's share this one. Well, you guys are probably asleep now. Well, Vaughn, gonna do something here? Let's screen share this. I have it on my Instagram story, but I haven't got them all up on this one. Let's get this one up for you. Here we go. This is fun. Okay, this is these are the pictures. Now the train also, they've also got those little bikes here in town. You can rent those bikes. So just grab a bike off the street and go. They also have the bikes, little push carts as well. Well, a couple of players rode the bikes, and they were in the Monarchs there. Monarchs bikes, see them right there. It's a little small to see, but two of them driving next to the Monarchs trolley right there, the train. Kind of cool right there. Let's see here. I gotta find mine here. This would have been. There's the Monarchs Mother's Day post. Happy Mother's Day. Okay, there's the team right there, tipping their cap at the World War I Museum, right there. Pull that up for you. Not the best shot. I know I've got better. I've got some. It's a great shot, but it's a little out of. It's not very large there, is it? Let me see if I can get it bigger on the screen for you. Maybe not. And then this is the one that was taken on Friday by Morgan. There we go. That's the cool team shot we took Friday here, right there. So I get a really cool. Yeah, that Pacific tour would be cool, Michael. I'm going to definitely check it out. There's a really cool exhibit at Guadalcanal. And the Solomon Islands, too, I've heard, has got a really cool one. But the one, Papua New Guinea and Guadalcanal, is really supposedly pretty cool, too. There's several of them over there you can do. But, yeah, that's shots from over the weekend there. Let me see if I can get you. I don't know if I posted anything else here. I thought I had, for some reason, it was the wife that posted those. She may have posted some, and that must be what I'm thinking. I bet she did. Let me go to hers, and I bet she did. I think she actually took some that I didn't even see yet, but I think she posted them. Maybe she did. Yeah, here we go. These are good. These are good. Let me screen share this. Yeah, she took some too. So thank you to my wife for doing this. I'd forgotten this one. These are ones that she shared. Let me get these to you. This is a Frank White speaking in front of Union Station. This is from, there we go, Frank White, the legendary Royal right there, and also our first base coach. Let's go this way. That's inside Union Station there. That's inside the old vintage. And you can see in the background, it's hard to make out with that lighting, but that's the vintage station. Look at the marble floor there. The wood paneling on the right. And I'll give you some more of this later on this week if we get back on. Now, let's see here. There's a little bit more in focus there. There's the players being introduced right there. There's me in the back. There's Joe, our manager, and there's me in the background there with the Rain Reborn shirt. There's Joe, me, and Frank White. And Hartzell's our on-field host right there. One of our O2, him and Carrie will be on field. And Hartzell's a great guy, does a phenomenal job with the fans. And there we are there. And there's Joe, me, and Frank, and right there. And there's me speaking to the crowd there. And there we are in front of the bus. We actually rode I had some fun ones from the bus. We rode the bus up to the World War I monument. And there's me speaking to the crowd again with the cool jeans. And there's the bus, Kansas City Monarchs Baseball Club, Negro Leagues Museum bus right there. Really cool. There's the train from a distance, but we actually had a shot of them in front of the train, in front of the train as well. And there's more of me talking. And there's the fans. There's that. And there's the team coming in. And there's the dog. And there's the dog and cat. Sad, the cat. We lost the cat recently. So anyway, that's the wife. That's the wife's selection right there. So very good on her. Thank you, babe, for that. And then she and I went to the K, her first trip to Kauffman Stadium. She had never been, and it was really cool. We got to go to watch I've been to the Royals several times, and multiple, probably 12 times or more than that, maybe, seeing the Royals play. Over the years, we got to go for the first time. She'd never been, which was really cool. And I know she enjoyed that. And then we got to see it. Unfortunately, Liam Hendriks the Australian mate of ours, did not pitch because the Royals didn't play real well this weekend. And they were swept at home by the White Sox. And Liam was very quiet. He didn't have to pitch at all. So oops, sorry about that. Back to my photos here, if I can find it here for you. There we go, home. See if I missed anything. I don't think I did, but let's just see here. And then I'll let y'all go. And our week's gonna be a little different. Here we go. Let's give you a couple of the flavor of the weekend here. This is us. Mentioned the pizza thing. This is us at the K, I guess. This is, let's do that. We'll skip the food part of it. Let's share this. This is us at Kauffman Stadium. Let's share that with you. I think you guys can see that. Kind of cool. And let's do that. And there we go. There we go. Okay. So there we are. There's us at the stadium right there. And let's go this way. That's what we said. Good seats there. It was a little breezy though, late. But glad we had our sleeves on. That's a really cool stadium. What's so cool about Kauffman Stadium is that it's old. It was built. Here's one for you. The Rangers have played in 3 stadiums. They built 2 and played in 3 stadiums since that place is open. And it's still in really good shape there, right across the street, right across the parking lot from Arrowhead Stadium, the Truman Sports Complex. But Arrowhead is aged well, and so is Kauffman. Although they're trying to think about building a new one. The fountains are out there in center. Can't really make them out, but you can see it's a really good view there. Good place, good ballpark, good ballpark. Solid ballpark. There you go. It's a great day to be a Royal. There are seats, and I think that pretty much wraps up. That's how Arrowhead's right next to Kauffman. There we are. That's from yesterday's lunch for Mother's Day and our salsa. That's it. There we go. There's our drinks. There's our drinks from yesterday. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys with all that. So anyway, that's us from yesterday. But anyway, happy Mother's Day to my wife. Hope you guys had a great Mother's Day and all that. Let's see here. Yeah, you like the mud flap tire on the waist? Well, it was one of those days. It was layer day. Left the house. It was chilly, but it got warm down there in the sun. Thus the tan today. And so I had to do the layer thing, the mud flap deal. But all good. Thanks, Michael. Kevin, did I see what looks like an Usher? Yes, you did see an Usher Tanner crew. We did have 3 of them there. Now we're not going to start with them right away because of the distancing thing, but we will have some Usher Tanners. Yes, there will be Usher Tanners here. Those were 3 of them. They did a great job. Plus 2 on-field hosts, Carrie and Hartzell, both phenomenal. So yes, you did see that. You saw correctly, Mr. Luco. You did. We're going to rock it. We're going to rock it here in KC. So all good. Yeah, it was a nice weekend. Wife came in on Friday, and we did. The thing about her, she had a tutor, and I thought she was going to swing by. She didn't. We found a really cool coffee shop here. There's actually some really cool coffee shops. KC may be the most like Italy and Australia when it comes to coffee than any place in North America that I've seen. I would imagine New York City's probably got something to say about that. And there's a growing coffee commitment. Most of North America in general, I mean, Dallas, Fort Worth, here, anywhere, LA, the Starbucks is really the place. The Seattle scene was Starbucks. But I think the coffee scene in Kansas City is pretty good. And it's growing in Texas. Austin's got a great coffee scene. New Orleans got a great coffee scene. Miami. But there are some cities where it's Starbucks or bust. And Kansas City's not one of those. Dallas, for a long time, was one of those. Dallas has gotten much better. Fort Worth's but Austin's really a good coffee city, coffee culture that you're getting. And they've got some really good shops. One of them is Messenger here. Great bakery, phenomenal place. The wife has tutored there a couple of times, and we went there, and it was 10 o'clock in the morning, and they had a line that was easily 25 deep. She got a seat, and I got us some drinks, and she did her tutoring. Then I went on down to Union Station, which is about maybe 8, 9 blocks at the most, maybe not even that far. And she Ubered down there, but she got there at noon, and we put her to work. So she went down there and helped at the sign-in table and helped hand out pennants and all that. But we had a great time on Saturday, and then went to K. And then Sunday we did some errands here, and then went down to Country Club Plaza and had a later lunch at a really cool place. Had really good salsa there. And then we went and had a couple of beverages at a place we like as well. And I took her to the airport, and she flew on her way home. So sucks, but part of the year. It's part of what goes on here. Kevin asking, Kevin, I think it's a good question. And I think they've taken to it. We've gone broad here, and I love what we've done. We're obviously KCK's team. We're also KC Missouri's team. We're a regional team. I remember talking to folks from Kansas City at my cousin's wedding in Hawaii a couple years ago, and they all knew the T-Bones. They knew about them. It was sort of a KCK thing. The Monarchs are a KC Metro thing. And I think that's what we're shooting for. We're still Kansas City, Kansas, but we're uniting the area. We're bringing folks from both sides of the state line. And from here to the Missouri, up down 435, it's about 2 miles of the Kansas River and crossing Missouri. Going this direction, going down I-70, it's a little further, maybe 4 miles. And of course, you have places in Leawood where our corporate office is about half a mile from the state line. You've got a lot of that. And maybe it's because I didn't grow up here that I don't see the state line as much, but we're trying that a little bit. I think it's working. There was a lot of bad press, and that's why we basically washed our hands of the situation. I love what we've done. Our ownership, I think you're gonna really like what we're doing, Kevin. We're not going to hit it. We're not going to be successful at everything we do. We're going to make some mistakes. Everybody does. We're going to drop the ball here and there, but we're going to do a great job. And Kevin, having the resources we had to pull off an event like that was great. We had never done that. What we did on Friday, our media day, which is not really a media day, was photo day for Morgan and I. Usually it was a shot Morgan would shoot on her phone, or maybe we'd get one photographer out. We had 3 photo stations plus an audio station, and we're doing videos down the field. Some stuff that's not been done in this market ever. In this league, really. So I'm excited about that too. But anyway, we'll see how that works out. But anyway, glad you stopped by, Kevin. All right, I'm hungry. I'm starving. It's time for dinner for me. I got some salmon at the house. Go home and do that. My schedule this week, it's going to be real haphazard. I'll probably pop on a little bit on Wednesday. I don't know about Friday, because Friday I'll be a little more. I'll be able to do a beer test on Friday, but maybe Wednesday I'll hop on about 4:45 and just check on y'all and see how y'all are doing. And we'll do the broadcast at 7. So it'll work out. I can probably do that from down the broadcast booth on Wednesday. And I don't know about Friday, but then we'll start moving the show to more Mondays. It's going to be kind of hit or miss. But what you do is, hey, get notified when I'm on. It'll let you know. Just hey, I want to know when Dan's on. Just click on there. If you follow me, you'll find out. And you can just say, it'll give you a little notification. I want to be notified when Dan's on. And boom, you can do that. So it'll be all good. Time to eat as well. Yeah, it is time to eat. Yeah, and we are. Again, and Kevin, you know this. When you rebrand, it's a learning curve for all of us. We're going to do a great job. And I think what the key is, Kevin, is good people. And you know this, good people. Good to see you, Michael. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I know a lot of y'all kind of drove by, but some of y'all have come. We had a lot of folks stay the whole time. And good morning to you in Australia. I miss y'all. You in North America, I love y'all. Love everybody. Love all y'all. Okay, we'll be back here again on Wednesday at some point for a short time. And of course, we're in our baseball season schedule, so I need to change the graphic. It'll be when Dan is on, but click when you want to be notified and let you know when I go live, and we'll do that. Of course, you can join me on our other shows as well. But much love, virtual hugs. I love y'all. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today. Let's keep getting better. Let's keep showing more love. Let's just keep going onward and be the best we can be. Okay. Much love to y'all. We'll see y'all on Wednesday for a bit. And time for dinner. Love y'all. And see y'all then. Let's find the close. There we go. Closing time.